If you want to know where you're going, you have to be able to see where you're going, and there's nothing more important for that than a good headlamp. Hi, I'm Adam Roy, Editor-in-Chief of Backpacker, and I am here in the outside lab at CU Denver with my colleague, Adam Trenkamp. Adam, how are we doing today?
I'm pretty good.
So Adam, when it comes to headlamps, obviously reliability is key. Most hikers are not going to carry multiple headlamps, so you're really counting on that to function the way you expect it to. And when you're hiking, you can experience all sorts of weather conditions, rain, snow, wind, things like that, blowing dust, not good things for most electronics. So how do we know if a headlamp can handle the conditions we're going to subject it to?
Great question. First thing is you look at the rating on the headlamp or other electronic that you have. Typically what you'll see is an IP rating on the box, possibly on the headlamp itself. And so an IP rating stands for ingress protection, which basically means it protects from things getting inside and then destroying the actual electronic components. You'll see it as written as like an IP number, which here we have is X. The first number tells you how protected it is from dust. The second number tells you how protected it is from water.
So take me through the ratings here, what they mean. How am I supposed to read these IP ratings that I'd find on the side of a box?
Great question. So your first number is dust. The maximum rating it can actually have is a 6, which means it is 100% dust-proof sealed. Dust is not actually going to bother it at all. Typically, you're not going to see a dust rating less than 6 on outdoor electronics. You either just have an X in that place, meaning no dust protection, or a 6, meaning maximum dust protection. But on the waterproof side, we will usually start at number 4. 4 means it's protected from light rain. This Petzl headlamp here is actually an IPX4 rated headlamp. So it's good for general outdoor use when you hike, a light shower, some mist, things like that. And then it goes up from there, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, getting slightly more waterproof with each one until you get to IP7. The 7 waterproof rating means it can actually be dunked in 1 meter of water for up to 30 minutes and still work. So it's not going to be totally fine if you fall off your boat or your sup and you're kind of in the body of water for a short period of time, but you didn't dive down. You drop it in a puddle. Maybe you stand under a waterfall, who knows? And then an IP8 is the ultimate extreme waterproof rating for electronics. It can be dunked for more than 1 meter for more than 30 minutes, but there is no set depth or time. That's sort of manufacturer determined. You could potentially actually go swimming with an IP8 rated headlamp. They're really good for kayaking, canyoneering, or any other waterproof sport like this COAST we have here. This one is an IP68. So this is the ultimate protected electronic by IP ratings that we have.
So Adam, tell me about how we test the waterproofing on these headlamps, because waterproofing is really what we're concerned about, right? Not dust so much when we're backpacking.
Yeah, so there's a standardized test called the ANSI Plato FL1, and that's for headlamps specifically, but there is also an ASTM test that derives from that. That is how we test waterproofness. So basically, starting at IP4 for the waterproofness, you spray the headlamp or other electronic from all sides at a set pressure for up to 10 minutes. And then as the rating goes up, 5, 6, 7, 8, you start to spray it with more pressure. When it gets up to 7 or 8, we actually dunk it in a bucket of water that either is 1 meter in depth or more, or has the pressure of 1 meter depth of water or more. And the key thing here is before and after the test, the headlamp needs to work.
So we don't have the setup to do this full standardized test, but I understand you have built an apparatus to let us show off the waterproofing on some of these different headlamps. Do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to dunk a couple to see how they work and how they survive, and a few others we're going to put under a little tiny leprechaun shower of sorts.
All right, let's do it. Let's murder some headlamps. Test some headlamps. So we've got our testing set up here along with our volunteer, Jeremy. Adam, you built this. Do you want to tell me about what we're looking at here?
Yeah, so we've got a basic shower test here. So this isn't exactly what they do to test them, but this will give you a good idea of what a headlamp with like an IP4 and IP5 rating can take. And then next to you right here, we actually have a dunk tank. So while it's not 1 meter in depth, you'll be able to see that a IP7 or 8 rated headlamp will still work both underwater and once we take it out, but the IP4 may or may not. We're gonna find out. So first up, we're actually gonna test this Petzl TIKKA 350. So it's an IPX4 rated headlamp, which means it's good for light showers, a little bit of mist. It shouldn't shut down with that, but if it's in a really, really heavy pour or gets dunked, that's where it may start to run into issues. So let's pump some water on Jeremy here. Oh no, Jeremy, torrential downpour. It's a little less exciting than I thought. But if you'll notice, headlamp still works.
So if you're hiking, this is a situation you might run into. Starts raining, you're not necessarily going to be able to take your headlamp off, especially if it's really gloomy. You're going to need, at the most basic level, your headlamp to be able to stand up to this. So this is why IPX4 is basically the lowest waterproofing rating you'll find on a headlamp intended for outdoor use.
So now we've talked about IP4. What do you say we dunk some headlamps?
Let's dunk them. You ready for a swim, Jeremy? So we're moving on to the dunk test, and we have 2 different headlamps at 2 different waterproofing ratings. Adam, do you want to talk about what we've got here?
Yeah, so we've got the Black Diamond Storm 450, which is an IPX7 rating. That means it could survive a dunk up to 1 meter in depth for up to 30 minutes of time and still work. Now, you know, it could go a little bit beyond, a little bit less, but that's what it means it can survive. And then we have the COAST WPH34R. Now this is an absolute beast of a industrial headlamp. It is an IP68 rating. So it has the top dust protection and the top waterproof. That means it can survive beyond 1 meter. COAST says up to 5 meters for over 30 minutes of time.
And already we're seeing, this is probably over-engineered for most hikers. Really strong protection, but 5 meters, that's almost 20 feet. Unless you're planning on snorkeling as part of your trip, you're probably not gonna put that to the test. Let's toss them in.
Yeah, all right, hold your breath. It's not 1 meter in depth, but they operate perfectly fine underwater. So if you're in maybe like a really wet cave, you're on a whitewater trip, doing some canyoneering in an environment you know is going to be really, really wet, IP7 and 8 for waterproofness are probably the ratings you want to look at the most, and those are going to be the most trustworthy to make sure it doesn't die during your trip, during your adventure, and you're just stuck in a dark, wet hole.
So what would happen if we dropped this IPX4 headlamp in the dunk tank?
Well, we know at 1 meter of depth, it's ultimately not going to work based on the rating that it has. But let's find out what it does in ours. Let's see if it can withstand a puddle drop.
So far, so good. I mean, this IPX4 headlamp is still running underwater. It seems like it might be engineered for a little more than the rating claims.
Yeah, so I think what you're seeing here is because we don't have a ton of depth, it's really starting to get that same sort of as the spray test and the like rain shower test. Now it may not do well over a given period of time in full immersion like this, but if you were to be out on a hike and say drop your IP4 headlamp in a small puddle, small pool, I don't think you need to be concerned that it's actually going to die right away.
Well, there you have it. The IP ratings are pretty reliable. If anything, they over-deliver. So next time when you're shopping for a headlamp, keep in mind where you're going and what you're going to be doing. Is there a chance your headlamp may take a dunk, or do you just need it to survive the rain? Until next time, I'm Editor-in-Chief Adam Roy, and this is my colleague Adam Trenkamp, and we'll see you out on the trail.